The suspect accused of shooting and killing an 87-year-old man inside a Potomac Senior Center made his first court appearance today.
Marquise James worked as a med tech at that facility. He's also accused of shooting a Maryland state trooper in Baltimore. News 4's Paul Wagner was inside the courtroom for the hearing. So, Paul, what else were you able to learn about this case?
We learned a little bit more, Sean and Mauricio. Today, in a brief court hearing, prosecutors told the judge that the killing of Robert Fuller Jr. was a cold-blooded murder and had been planned for some time. Prosecutors also said that it was a miracle that the Maryland state trooper who Marquise James is accused of shooting at escaped injury. The attorney representing James then asked for a psychiatric evaluation, and when the judge told James he'd be getting one, James replied, "Good, I'm looking forward to speaking with the doctors." Robert Fuller Jr. was found shot.
Now, first of all, that sounds like to me, now you might feel different. It sounds like he's trying to basically beat it. He's trying to claim insanity or something like that, and let's keep going.
Once in the head inside the apartment he shared with a roommate on the third floor of the Cogier Assisted Living Facility in Potomac. According to a statement of charges filed in the case, we know police interviewed Marquise James in the early days of the investigation. After Fuller's roommate told police, James handed out prescription medication the night before the murder. Based on that court document and letters sent to residents of Cogier obtained by News 4, we have built a timeline of events. Here's what we know. At 5:05 in the morning on February 14th, a subject in a mask is seen entering and leaving the building. At 7:34, James Fuller Jr. is found dead in his apartment. The same day, Cogier management sends an email to residents saying there was no ongoing threat. During the course of the investigation, police say they found a seldom-used door had been propped open. The security sensor had been tampered with 36 days before the murder. Video shows Marquise James coming and going from that tampered door. And that same door leads to a stairwell 10 feet from the victim's apartment. On February 16th, the management of Cogier sends another email to residents saying this was an isolated incident and there's no ongoing threat. On February 20th, police release video of a suspect. On February 22nd, a witness tells police the suspect looks like Marquise James. On February 23rd, James is challenged by staffers, and at 1:15 in the morning that day, the staff calls police saying a stairwell door had been found propped open, and the security sensor had been disarmed. The next day at 3 o'clock in the morning, police say James fires shots at a Maryland state trooper. At a news conference held yesterday at police headquarters, Captain Sean Gagan said investigators do not know the motive, but they hope to find out.
Before we get into that, you see how the senior living facility immediately said that there's no threat, but no one has been caught? They love to say that. How is there no threat, but the killer is still out there? Absolutely crazy.
Do not have a good sense of why he shot and killed Mr. Fuller. Upon speaking with him, he said their relationship was very good, and he would never have hurt Mr. Fuller. So we're hopeful that as we get further in, doing more of an investigation, we're going to get a better sense of what was going on behind the scenes, what types of communications Marquise James had, what he was searching on his electronic devices.
Now, Marquise James did have some family in the courtroom. His grandmother was there, but she left without speaking with reporters. We've also reached out repeatedly to Cogier to get some response to what happened at their facility, but so far they have not responded. That's the latest here from Rockville. Now back.
Absolutely crazy situation, y'all. What can drive someone to sneak in? He planned it for months, or at least a month. It was like, what they said, 38 days that he disabled the security camera before killing him. Let's go over to this next video and see what else we can find out.
Murder at a senior living facility and an attempted killing of a Maryland state trooper. Both crimes just days apart, and police say committed by this same man. Good evening, I'm Josh Chapin. Scott is on assignment tonight. Right now, On your screen is Marquise James. He is accused of shooting and killing millionaire philanthropist Robert Fuller at a senior living facility in Potomac on Valentine's Day. Our Brad Bell joining us live with new details released today. Brad, police say a traffic ticket helped them track down their suspect here.
Yeah, that's right, because the guy had a pre-scheduled court date and he actually showed up for it when they were looking for him and they were able to make the arrest. Look, this was a crime nobody could really understand. Who would shoot an 87-year-old man in his bed, in his room, at his assisted living facility? And as you said, police now say they know who it was, and it was somebody whose job it was to care for the victim. 87-year-old Robert Fuller was found murdered inside his apartment at the Kojir Assisted Living Facility in Potomac, Maryland on Valentine's Day. It was a stunning place for such a crime and the unlikeliest of victims. Fuller moved here after a long and successful career as an attorney in Maine. He was known as a philanthropist, and he was a self-published author of a murder mystery still listed on Amazon. His own death now became a tragic real-life mystery. The first clue released publicly, this video of a suspect at the assisted living building. Quietly, Montgomery County detectives narrowed in on a person. Well, then, early Tuesday morning, Maryland State Police reported that someone shot at a trooper in Baltimore during a traffic stop. They released these images of the person and a car. And when a shell casing from that shooting matched the gun used in the assisted living murder, the two agencies realized they were looking for the same person, 22-year-old Marquise James of Baltimore, an employee of the assisted living facility, who in a final twist to this sad real-life murder mystery was actually arrested Tuesday when he showed up for a court date on a completely unrelated traffic charge.
We completely understood the panic and the fear that the death of Mr. Fuller, the murder of Mr. Fuller, brought out in that community. We took this very, very seriously. The investigators, as I said, have worked incredibly hard. Long days, long nights, time away from their family, because they knew the importance of bringing or identifying a suspect in this case as quickly as they possibly could.
Yeah, so police now say they know who. What they don't yet know is why, what the motive may have been in this case. But there is another twist to this story, and it is chilling. Police are saying that it is possible that they interrupted another potential crime, because over the last several days, as they were watching Mr. James and security video at the assisted living facility, they spotted him acting mysteriously and actually propping open the door that should have been locked and tampering with a security sensor, flipping the battery around so it was not operable. He's now charged with first-degree murder here and will be charged with attempted first-degree murder in Baltimore, being held without bond. He'll have a bond review hearing in Rockville tomorrow. In Gaithersburg, Brad Bell, 7 News.
So it's a little bit conflicting. I don't know if did he use that same door to kill him in the first place? And was he going back to do it again? Or going back to kill someone else? I don't know if we'll ever get a motive for it. Might have been something. I mean, he just sounds like a true crash out. They said he shot at the police during a traffic stop. And then for a totally different reason or traffic violation, he went to the court to get it handled. Some people are evil monsters who are stupid. We gotta remember that. Let's go over into the AI breakdown just to see if we get anything else from this whole situation. So as we know, in let's go up. So 22-year-old Marquise has been arrested and charged with first-degree murder in the shooting of 87-year-old Robert at the senior living facility on Valentine's Day 2026. The victim was a retired attorney and a well-known millionaire philanthropist, originally from Maine. He was found unresponsive in his bed with a contact gunshot wound to the head. James was a licensed medical technician at the facility responsible for administering medication to the residents, including the victim. Prosecutors allege James plotted the murder for at least a month. Surveillance footage from January showed him tampering with a solemnly used door. In the morning of the murder, the door was found propped open with a napkin, and the alarm sensor was disabled. So James was apprehended on February 24th in Rockville after a briefly foot chase. Earlier the same morning, he allegedly shot at a victim, Maryland trooper, during a traffic stop. Ballistic testing matches the shell casing found. So there's a little conflicting stuff because they said after a brief foot chase, was he not caught at the courthouse? See, you got to remember to do your own research, y'all. Do your own research. Let's see. James faced charges of the first-degree murder, attempted first-degree murder, felony assault, and the use of a firearm in the crime of violence. He is currently being held without bond at the Montgomery County. During a recent hearing, a judge ordered a psychiatric evaluation for him. As of early March 2026, police have not identified a clear motive for the killings. So recent court proceedings and police investigation as of March 3rd have revealed several new details regarding the cold-blooded murder. So during the searches of Marquis' residence, and detectives recovered multiple wigs and masks. Prosecutors noted that the surveillance video from the night of the murder showed a person wearing a mask and a wig. On the night before the body was found, James allegedly administered Fuller's medication as usual, but returned later to ask if the meds had kicked in yet, which the victim's roommate described as highly unusual. Even after the murder, James reportedly continued to show up at the facility during hours he wasn't scheduled to work and was seen acting strangely. A 9mm shell was recovered from the scene where the state trooper was shot that matched the gun that killed Fuller. When James was arrested, ammunition was found rolling all over the floorboards from his silver Infinity. Investigators believe James spent over a month planning the attack, like we know. Despite the evidence, James reportedly told detectives during the interview that he liked Mr. Fuller and claimed that the relationship was good. Police confirmed that nothing was stolen from the apartment. During his bond hearing, James reportedly told the judge, "I want to talk to the doctor. I would love that," in response to the order of the psychiatric evaluation. A follow-up hearing resulted in is expected within the first week of March, so it's expected soon. It's a tragic situation. There's a lot of things that you never know when stuff like this can happen. This man was just living his time in his senior facility, enjoying his retirement, getting his medication, and then out of nowhere, someone kills him. Now, we don't know the motives. We don't know if he had some kind of vendetta against him. We don't know if he was just an angry person, if he just liked to kill somebody. It's a tragic situation. We got to pray for the family. And hey, at the end of the day, he needs to be held responsible for his actions and put in the jail. Crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I say. That whole statement about him being like, "Oh, I'm looking forward. I would love to talk to the doctor." Because for the psychiatric evaluation, that just sounds like he's trying to use a mental health diagnosis to get up out of this whole thing. But what are your thoughts, y'all? What are your thoughts? Like I said, let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Crazy situation.